Hello everyone, and welcome back. I am Dycart, and this is episode 4 of my Stationeers Let's Play. So, at the end of the last episode, we were talking about replacing this with heavy wire. So I have some heavy wire that I created in my electronic printer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swap that with the regular wire and then pull all this up. So when you're pulling this up, you can just hold down the left mouse button. Since the wire cutters don't destroy other stuff like the frames and stuff that are behind it, then this will work just fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch back. And what I want to do is get this cable set up. There we go. And run it up just like it was coming down before. There. So let's head up here and get this connected. Basically, we're just trying to get this connected before the sun comes up so that we'll have a chance to start getting power immediately when the sun comes up. Alright, so right here, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the previous episode or not, but making a 4-way junction is the same cost as making a regular 3-way junction, which I think is strange, but well, hey, whatever. So if you need to, and you're in a hurry, you can always just make 4 ways instead of 3 ways, and it should still work. Let me go ahead and just put in all the straights really quick. Whoops, I didn't want one there. Oh, I actually wanted it here. Alright, so I'm going to yank this guy up and yank this guy up. Alright, so put that there. This one I'm definitely doing a 4-way because I intend to extend that way at some point. And then a corner. Alright, and is there one more? Yeah, it's right here. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't have enough wire for that. I am one short. Look at that. Oh, it's because of this. I didn't need that there. I just need a regular corner. There we go. There we go. And now we should be able to put this junction in. There it is. All right. And now it's all reconnected, and it's still nighttime, so we're doing okay. So this is that heavier wire so that more wattage can go through it. Right now it's not super necessary, although if we decided to really use this guy, it might. But it's more just future-proofing. Okay. All right, so let's put this guy away. And let's go ahead and grab our belt and swap it out. Put the other one away. And we can just go grab some stuff until it's daylight. I need silicone. Don't necessarily need uranium. Alright, we're going to start grabbing some volatiles. Oops. Turn it back on. And it looks like that was all. Oh no, there might be a little bit more in here. So, volatiles basically is just hydrogen. So it's a gas, and now that I have it in my mining belt, it's a solid form there. If the sun hits it, or I shouldn't even say if the sun hits it, if it's daytime and I pull that into my hand or drop it on the ground, that 9 volatile that I have right there is going to just disintegrate. It's just going to go and release its gas into the atmosphere. So I need to be aware of that, because when I want to use it, and I have to basically pull it out of my inventory, put it in my hand, and then drop it or insert it into something, then it's going to disappear before I get a chance to, if I do it during the daytime. So early on in the game, you got to be really conscious of your volatile, and oxide works the same way, and you got to make sure that you handle them at night so that they won't dissipate so quickly. Okay, I'm just grabbing some iron because it was here. There seemed like a big chunk of it, but really what I'm looking for is, I wouldn't mind some copper and gold, but I need more oxide and volatile. So that's what I am looking for right now. And of course it's nighttime, it's tough to find it. That's silicon, that's more uranium, that's silicon. Oh, I just got turned completely around in a circle and ran back to base. I know there's oxide around here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, it's nighttime, it's hard to see. This probably isn't the smartest time to try mining, but ooh, there's some gold. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. We're going to be needing some more gold here pretty soon. So we're basically just waiting for daylight to come so that we can start work on a couple new machines that we want to use. The way this game works, like many games, is the more stuff you create, the more stuff you can create. I know that doesn't necessarily make sense, but there's a couple more machines I want to make that will allow me to make higher level things. For instance, batteries. Right now, power is still an issue for us, and I need to be able to make batteries. Well, if I keep working and I create better machines, I can build much better batteries, which is going to be very helpful. But I need to get it working first. Oh my gosh, am I back? I circled around again. Yeah, there's my base right there. But I'd really like to get a furnace made. There's some oxide. So let's get some oxide going here. We don't need a whole lot to start with. In fact, I'm going to leave that one so it's easier to see. I wouldn't mind some more volatile though. We definitely could use more of that. That's harder to see at night from a distance because it's a darker color, and it's not until you get pretty close to it that it shows up kind of the red color that it is. Oh, here comes the sun. All right, let's go head back this direction. Again, like a fool, I did not turn on the beacon at my base, so I got to stay within range of it if I want to live. Oh, look at that. There's oxide right there. Ooh, grab some copper. All right. So, yeah, there was oxide. How can you believe that? But now it's going to be easier to see. Let's turn my light off here. It's got to be volatile over here somewhere. There's some right there. I just want to grab a bit more. All right, how are we looking here? 36. We probably have enough. All right, so I'm going to head back now. Turn this off. Let's head back over here. And it's daytime. So we have some solar power coming in. So I want to get ready to start creating some stuff. So one thing I know I need is a furnace. That's an arc furnace, which is that one that runs off electricity, which is great and all, but it's not exactly what we need. In fact, I'm going to throw some copper in there and get it running while we have some power in the system. Take that drill back. I didn't mean to put that in there. There we go. Centrifuge, that would be helpful eventually. We got that printer. All right, we need a furnace. Let's see what we need. Iron and copper. Well, let's remove what's in this. There's some copper. And there's some iron. All right, so let's build ourselves a furnace. And then see, if you look, that's building up pretty slow. So we can kind of run around and get some more stuff done. So we can put our copper ore there. Okay, and this is iron. So let's throw some iron there. Are these all at 50? No. So let's take that, put it with that, and what do you know? That ended up being 50. Perfect. Nice. All right, I'm going to grab this gold and put it away. Now, I don't want to put the oxide or volatile in the chest because it's daytime, or I should say locker, because it's daytime and they'll just melt. They'll just go away and dissipate. And I don't want that. I need them. So I have to keep them in my mining belt. I'm hoping that at some point they come up with a special room or special storage device that you can use to store them. But for now, that's all we can do. Okay. Let's see, that's 50% done. So while I am waiting for this, let's just go right here and grab some of this copper because we can. It's always a good idea to just grab more resources whenever you don't have anything specific to do. Go mine stuff. It'll help you down the road because then you'll be in the middle of a project, you'll run out of a resource, and then you'll be stuck, and you'll have to go mining then. So it's much better to go mining when you can rather than when you have to, at least in my opinion. All right, it's getting pretty close. Looks like there's more copper over there, but this was close enough. I'm going to wait. All right, let's put that away for a minute. Yeah, look at that. Furnace is just about done. And there's the furnace. Okay, so, whoops, turn it back on. Next thing we're going to need, we could use the hydraulic pipe bender. That would be helpful. But I want to, where's the iron frames? I want a few more of these iron frames. How many do we have in here? Oh, I have 5 in my inventory. So let's see, because I want to expand this base out as I'm going to make it grow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe like 5 more. Put me at 10. And I'm just going to build this area out for now. I'm not going to worry about exactly how everything's placed or anything like that, because right now my primary focus, oh, I guess I need to put some more iron in there. My primary focus at this point is, oh my gosh, oh, I switched them out. Phew. Oh, there's some more copper done. Let's throw some gold in there. Sorry, I got distracted. My primary focus at this point is to get my power set up so that I no longer have to worry about just daylight work. I can start working at night. Oh, that's all I wanted. And let's start doing sheets now, because we need 2 sheets per frame. That's one. And then the next thing I want to start thinking about is air, because I don't have a lot of oxygen. I mean, my portable oxygen tank is there, and it'll refill me, and I'll be able to go for quite a while on that. But at some point, that's going to wear out. And so I kind of want to get a good base set up for air so I can, basically breathe. And if I have that set up, then I can survive much, much longer. And that's kind of the name of the game, right? Survive. Okay, after one more, stop it. All right, there's 24. So that's off. This guy's working on some gold for the time being. Got some gold sitting there. All right, so I have some frames ready to go. So I'm going to throw them in my inventory for now. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to my mining tool, but this time I'm going to use it specifically just to clear out some space. And if you look at this, see, this is actually ground. When I do this, it chunks it away and puts it to the actual frame that we want. Now, it's not a big deal to have a little bit of ground there. I just don't want too much. And to build these frames, you got to be able to see them. So I've got to clear enough ground around here so I can build the main part of my base out a little bit here. So I'm just kind of doing some maintenance. Oh, look at that, some silicon. Bonus. All right, so I got my furnace done. I built the frames. Let's see, is there something else I want to do while it's... I'd like to build The hydraulic pipe bender might be really good to have. I'd like to build a fabricator. Can I build it with this guy? Maybe I can't. Tool, steel frames. No, I don't think I can. I must not be able to build a fabricator with that guy. Okay, so it must be this guy that does the fabricator. That battery is going to be important. What does that take? Steel, copper, and gold. We will work on that soon. There's the fabricator. What does this guy take? Iron, gold, and copper. Well, we have all of those, so let's get this bad boy going. The fabricator is another device like the lathe here that will let us build more advanced items. So some people would wait longer because it's kind of the final machine that you normally would use to produce things, but the sooner you get it built, the sooner you can start building more advanced things, basically. And one of those more advanced things is a nuclear battery. And a nuclear battery is going to be the battery that you keep on your person and that you can put in all your stuff, and it's going to last much, much longer than the large battery that you've had. So it's going to be nice. You're not going to have to work so hard to replace batteries all the time. Okay, so that's good enough for now. Let's get that put away. How are we doing on this? Fabricator's only 20%. So let's grab this furnace. Now, the furnace is kind of a special item, and it's one of those items that confuses the most people early on in the game. And rightfully so. It's confusing, or it can be very confusing. So I'm going to set it up. Where should I set this up at? Maybe right here. The furnace actually kind of just hovers.
Low.
Oh, low power. Look at that. All right, let's get our battery going here really quick. Charge is low, and oh, I don't have the battery in there? Uh-oh. Where is my battery? Do I have it in here? Oh, okay, I have it in here. So I'm going to take that one, and I'm actually going to swap it, and then I'm going to put this low one over here, because then it's more specifically just for my solar power. I ran the whole day with my mask light on is the problem. All right, so the fabricator, back to it. Okay, it goes. If you look at it right there, the pipes on the left-hand side, there's an in and an out. Those are for gases. This furnace, unlike that arc furnace over there, this furnace works on gas power. It does not work on electricity, which means a couple things. One, it's more advanced, but two, it can get a lot harder and a lot more pressurized, so it can make better alloys. It can make everything that the regular arc furnace can make, and it can do it a lot faster if you have the materials it needs. So that's the stuff on the left. There's also a little plus sign on the left top over there. That's where you can hook up data. So you can eventually build logic to control this furnace and how it operates and stuff like that, or read data from it. Not something that you need early in the game. The big arrow at the top is where you put stuff in, and the big arrow at the bottom is where stuff comes out. However, so you would think, oh, turn it sideways like all these other things. And you certainly can. Right? But one of the things about the furnace is, if you look right here, this is actually the front of the furnace where the dial is. And you can see the dial's on the right-hand side facing you right there. That's going to show the pressure. There's a power switch right above the dial, or an activation switch. And then there's the big handle to have it eject its contents. So the furnace is really built to put stuff in the top and have stuff come out the bottom. So that's something that's a little bit different. But it's fine. It'll work. And we'll probably move it around. So right now, this is the furnace. I'm just going to place it right there. Boom. All right. So a furnace will turn ore into alloys if you put the proper ratio in, and you have the proper gas mixture, which is the tough part. Okay, so what we want is we want a ratio of 1 to 3 coal to iron. Right? So if I have 50 coal, I should be able to take 150 iron, and that's a ratio of 1 to 3. So let's go take this. Now this is a lot. This is a lot. Normally I would do like 10 and 30 to start with. But I can just go out and mine some more now that I'm a little bit more comfortable with this process. But it can be confusing. All right. So here's the thing that's the most confusing about the furnace. In order for you to make the alloy that you are trying to make, there are required ranges of pressure and temperature. And you have to use the right mixture of gases to reach the correct pressure and temperature so that you can create the alloys that you want to create. So definitely a tough job to come up with. So the easiest thing to do, you can look in your tablet in the e-reader section for the recipes. That certainly works. However, I've found that it's usually easier just to look online. There's wikis and there's documents people have made. I happen to know that for 1 coal, I need 3 iron. So like I said, I have 50 coal and 150 iron. So that's a 1 to 3 ratio. So I should be good there. Now for the pressure and the temperature to make steel, that's what I'm trying to do here for that ratio for coal to iron. I'm trying to make steel. I need the temperature to be between 600 K and 100,000 K. So it doesn't have to be too hot, but it can get really hot. But I need the pressure to stay between 100 kPa and 100 MPa. So it's still a pretty big range, but not huge. So how you get the pressure is you put gases in the top of the furnace, and then you activate it. Right? But the gases, I just know from checking that the simplest way, it's not the only way, but the simplest way to make steel is to do a 1 to 2 ratio with oxide and volatile. So I think I want to start this out with 10 oxide, and you have to do this at night, otherwise this stuff's going to disappear on you. So let's try to get this done relatively quickly here. Let's put this away. I'm going to grab my oxide here, and I'm going to put it in my hand, and it's not melting because the sun's not out. I'm going to hit R, and then I'm going to tell it to split in half and hit F. Okay, so I have 20 oxide right there. So I'm going to open my belt and put this 21 back. I'm going to switch hands. This is a tough part. I'm going to go say split in half again and hit F, and now I have 10 in each hand. So I'm going to put 10 back. Now I have 10 oxide, which is what I was wanting. Okay, so I'm going to do, in fact, let's put this oxide here for now. And I'm trying to do this before the sun comes up and it starts all melting. So now let's take this out. Since I have 10 oxide, I know I need 20 volatile. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, but now on this one, I'm going to do a split 1 4 times. Okay, now I know I have 20 there. So switch hands and I can pick up the others and put it back in my mining belt. Now I have 20 there. So let's go grab the oxide. Now I have 10 oxide and 20 volatile. So I'm going to pop those in as quickly as I can. And I'm going to activate it. And that put me at 34,000 and 2,000 Kelvin temperature, which fits my range. So now I'm going to start putting in the components. And as you put them in, it fills right here. See, it's counting it up. So once it gets to 15 and it opens, ready for something else. I'm going to grab it here. Now put it in. And you know, this whole time the pressure and temperature are dropping because I have the exhaust port of this thing just open to the air. So let's put that in. And hopefully it'll pop up in a moment. And boom, we'll produce 200 grams of steel ingot. So I pull this lever, and there's the steel ingot. So now, this is currently working. You know how long this has been taken? Let's show you this. I'll grab some copper, and I'll put it in there. And let's grab this steel ingot, get out of the way. And there it is right there. Copper's done that quickly. So this furnace is way faster than the arc furnace. However, you do need to watch the pressure and the temperature. So it's more difficult to manage, but it's a lot faster once you get it working. Okay. So just made those much faster than... oh, did I not pick that up? Just made those much faster than I would have in the other furnace. And now, right now, that furnace is just venting the exhaust gas out into the atmosphere, and it's being wasted. Eventually, you'll want to set it up so that... did I run out of power when it was doing this fabricator? Oh, no, I didn't do the fabricator yet, huh? Because I needed something else for it. Anyway, I needed steel, I believe. So let's throw some steel in there really quick. What was this thing? Oh, another iron ingot. Okay. So that's the furnace. That's how you make steel to start off with. It's difficult when you first do it. Now, here's a tip. If you are trying to use the furnace and you put an incorrect mixture in there. In fact, let's do this. Oh, I don't have any ore on me. If you put oh, maybe I do in here. Yes, I do. Okay, so there's some copper. And here's some coal. Okay. Now, oh, and I have some silicon too. So let's actually use that. So copper and silicon. So let's put that in. And let's put that in. I probably should have just did one of each. But copper and silicon. Now, see, it's showing that it's not going to make anything. However, they're in the furnace. They've been getting melted. You know, they're like molten in there. So when you open the mold, out pops this little turd-looking reagent mix. Because I had the mixture wrong. I had the wrong ratio of ingredients. So now I have this weird reagent thing. Don't fret if you get one of those. It does not mean you've lost all your stuff. Some of it, yes, you will lose. Usually it's like 1 to 2 bits per stack of 50 or something like that. But what you need is you need to build the centrifuge, which was one of the buildings you could build here. There it is right there, the centrifuge. And this centrifuge doesn't take a lot. Okay, so I don't have that set. Oh, look at the sun's coming up. We're starting to get some power. Nice. The centrifuge, you can put this reagent mix in and run it, just power it up, and it will spit out the components that you use. So I could get copper and silicon back from this by using a centrifuge. So that's a good thing to know. All right, so now the fabricator. Oh, turn it on. What? Hello, power. Come on. Here we go, son. Did I not connect this properly when I put this down? Let's show that they're producing wattage. Uh-oh. I did something wrong. Area power control. Off and on. Interesting. That is not something I was prepared for. Perhaps it was moving this battery out here. Let's take it and put it in this thing. Yep, that worked. Very strange. All right, so let's start this fabricator working. What I don't know is if this battery is actually powering this whole thing. Here, let's turn this guy off. Oops, fell down. Climb out. All right, and let's get this fabricator started. And look how slow it's building. So that's going to take quite some time. Okay. So that's how you use the furnace. That's how you make steel. And that is going to be it for this episode because we are out of time. All right, so I've got my solar on. I'm getting some power. So the next episode, now that we know how to use the furnace, we will focus on creating things like the new batteries and stuff like that we're going to start using. And then once we can start creating the batteries, things will get a little bit easier because we will start being able to work more at night. I'm going to turn my helmet off. Okay. So right now we're just waiting for this fabricator to get done. I did build, you know what, while we're waiting for that, let's throw down the foundation here. So let's just expand this a little bit. Nothing too fancy. I'm just giving myself some more space to run around. Okay, I'll go ahead and put some down here as well. And then we can swap belts. Oops, that's not what I meant to do, but that'll work. Put this away. Put the frames away and grab the sheets. And we will grab the welding torch, turn it on, and start welding these up. So remember, once you weld them one time, you can stand on them. 2 times and they become full platforms with the airtight. If you only do it once, it's not considered airtight, I believe. It's just a frame, so you can kind of mount stuff on it. But once you do it twice, you can mount stuff all over it. It's pretty good. All right, let's turn that off. Let's check our percentage. We're at 50% on this. Okay, so there we got a little bit of extra space put out, and you see this is still pretty hot. Although it's cooling down. Oh, there's the autosave in the game. So it's still pretty hot. You know, so if I had some more ore, I might throw some in there just to use it. You know, it's one of those, might as well utilize it while the furnace is already hot, so I don't have to expend any more gases. So let's throw these back really quick. Oops, didn't mean to split that. All right. So battery is fully charged. That's fantastic. So that does mean it is pulling power in from the solar panels. This thing is at 69%. So I'm going to go ahead and let this finish. Between episodes, I'll probably go out and do a little bit of mining, try to get some more ore built up. But when we come back, we'll set up that fabricator and we'll look at how it works, and we'll look at getting some battery power for our base to run at night. All right, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please click that like button. Remember, I would love for you to join me on my Twitch channel. It's also Dycart. I stream every night, 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Usually by 10:30 for sure, but 9:30 is when I start almost every night. Might be a couple nights a week I start a little bit later. But yeah, you're welcome to join me there. Please leave comments. I'd love to hear your opinions on how I'm explaining this stuff, and if I made any sense, or if I didn't make enough sense, ask me some questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate the viewership, and I hope you will join me for the next episode. Take care.